So thank you guys for getting on. It is Monday, September 28th. We are entering the last week of September, moving into October. So new and exciting things are happening this week as we are kind of I don't want to say envisioning how we're doing things with the ambassador program, but we are actually going to have some help with the structure and the layout of the ambassadors, because I am one person and I'm juggling a lot of different things right now for the agency. And so we have someone who's taking a look from the outside looking in on what we could do to improve our reach, what we could do to improve our consistency, and getting new people in, because that is the goal of the ambassador program, is to get them into the Live membership group, either by the free membership, or if you know that they're ready to take that next step, they're looking for business resources, they need community, getting them to see the investment and the value behind it. So starting this month in October, we will be having our meetups on the third full week of each month. So it'll be Tuesdays and Thursdays, the third full week of the month, because technically this is the first week of October, but next week will be the first full week of October. So it'll be the 20th and 22nd. You can choose which day works best for you. You can choose whatever time, doesn't have to be at the same time as anybody else, but these are going to be the marked days that we have for ambassador meetups locally. So pick your day. Today would be a good time to do that. Let me know. I will update your cards in Trello for you. And then we will get your event set up. You guys are still going to be in control of setting up your events. I will be passing the information along once you send it to me to make sure that everyone in the Live group knows that our email that goes out at the 1st of October is updated with your different links and everything that they need to RSVP if they're in your area. And then we will share those on social media as well. One of the things that I'm going to try to put together, I've put together some before, are the Instagram stories that share what you do, who you are, where you're located, that kind of thing, so that our people that are wanting to attend can join you. If they're viewing from Instagram, then they have some kind of connection, which that still seems so weird to me, but I know that that's like normal. People like see your stuff on social media and then they show up. I know that's normal, but it still seems kind of strange. So does anybody have questions about that?
Could I get you to post the link for Trello? I know you said you were going to do that like last week, but that way I can get back in and do what I'm supposed to do in there.
Let me snag that really quick while I'm here, because I tend to not forget or tend to not remember once I've said something.
Right. It's gone.
If I start doing something else, I lose concentration. Okay, invite copy, and I'll put it in the chat window here. Katie, can you put, oh yeah, there you are in the chat. Okay, there's that, and then I'll post it in our group message thread as well, so that we have that. Okay.
Okay, and I had a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're not doing the third Tuesday or Thursday, the third full week, because I had my meetup scheduled on the 16th, so I need to switch that to the 22nd.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna do the third full week. Otherwise, technically, it's just confusing. So the third full week of each month will be when we do our meetups. And I will make sure that I specify that. I'm sorry, I should have specified that before. 1, 2,
Oh,
3.
that's okay.
So for November, and the reason that we did this is because in November, it would fall, we just wanted to avoid Thanksgiving week, because we were gonna do the 4th week of the month. So in November, it'll be the 17th and 19th. And then in December, it will be the 15th and 17th.
Okay.
So still plenty of time before the holidays.
Oh yeah.
I will update, make a note. Where are my sticky notes?
I'm gonna make my event today. Do I just add you to that, or is there somebody else particularly I need to add to it so that it gets on the list, or do I just post it in here?
I think just add me, and then I can share it through our different channels I was gonna say, try to add the business page, but I don't think that you can add from a personal page. I don't think you can add a business page. I think that was our problem in the beginning, was we were doing it from the business page, so you couldn't add personal people to it, which is so weird.
Right.
So do either of you have wins for last week? Sheena, are you feeling better?
My voice is better because they took me off of a medication, but it's making my breathing a little harder, which he anticipated would probably happen, but he just wanted to like narrow down what's going on. So yes and no. But this week's been crazy for me, family-wise. We had a lot of issues, but and I have a lot of appointments this week, but I'm trying to fit everything in, and I'm hoping to get my event scheduled either tonight or tomorrow on Facebook. I just got to call and see if my place is going to be available because I had scheduled it on the 16th. So I'll
Okay,
check
I'm
into
sorry
that today.
about that.
Oh, no, it's not your fault. I misunderstood.
30. Well, once you get the green light, I will pass it along. But hopefully you get your health under control and everything's starting to move in a positive direction.
Yeah, I signed on to Amar with Tessa as a wellness partner. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited about that because I think it fits really well with my business and the natural, wellness part of it. So
That's
I think
awesome.
it'll be great.
Where is Tessa? Just got to thinking about that. She's not here. Bethel, do you have any wins to share?
Oh, let's see. Last week felt like a little bit of a blur. Yeah, I had my meetup. I had a whopping 2 people, but it was better than 0. So, yeah, I guess I'm hoping that maybe shifting to this, like it's always the 3rd Tuesday of the month thing, maybe that will be a better day. Because I had it in the paper, it was on the little local radio thing, it was in the chamber newsletter, so it was out there. So just trying to figure out the magic mix to get people to show up.
Yeah, well, and again, this is just a weird time, so you guys have to give yourself a little bit of grace. This is not, like, our town just went under yellow restrictions last week, and so it's like, okay, what's changing, what's not changing? Can we still do this? Can we not do this? And so just be patient with yourselves. It's a weird season to have gatherings because people are weird about gatherings, but we're also needing community. Like, we're at that place where we really need to be around other people regularly. But then there's that, we're scared of like what could possibly happen or what, it's just a weird time. But that's kind of what I talk about today, is the basic human needs that people have, and that we have an opportunity to meet those needs. You have an opportunity to meet those needs through your personal business and through what you do as an ambassador. This is, like I've said many, many times before, just an extension of who you are, your mission, your vision, your values. I believe that's why you said yes to being an ambassador, because it aligned with something that you see for yourself, you see for your future, you see for the people that you're going to work with. It's an extension of where you want to grow and what you want to do. And along this journey of serving people, we have the opportunity to meet certain needs. Every single person has 6 basic human needs: a need for certainty, a need for variety, a need for significance, a need for connection, a need for growth, and a need for contribution. In every area of our lives, you can ask yourself at different times when you felt discontent, or you felt like things have slowed down, or you felt like it's not been super great, you could probably look at these different needs and say, okay, I was missing this. I didn't have this. I didn't feel this. I didn't feel significant. I know one of the things that really encouraged me to start a business was significance. Obviously, being a mom is a great job and I love it and I love my kids, but I didn't feel significant. I felt lost in the day-to-day. I felt, I just felt like I didn't know who I was, because it wasn't who I trained to be my entire life, and it wasn't what I thought it would be. So I felt like I lost my significance. I felt like I lost variety. I felt like every day was the exact same thing. And I was looking for, it had certainty, but there was no variety. It was a lot of the same things, the mundane, every single day. I was lacking connection. I felt super disconnected from the outside world. I felt disconnected from the friends that I'd had for so long. I felt like I was alone when in fact I wasn't. I wasn't growing and I didn't feel like I was contributing. I think one of the hardest things about mixing motherhood and business, and I was talking to another woman about this morning, is the fact that we go from contributing on our own to now we're balancing this contribution through how we're raising our kids, but also wanting to financially contribute, because most of us went to school, most of us have degrees, most of us have business training of some sort. And while your kids are smaller, while you're homeschooling, or while you're in the thick of juggling all of these different hats, you feel like your contribution isn't good enough. When in fact, in any given day, 10 people could do the job that you do on your own. And that's the kind of contribution that we're putting into the world. It's not just financially, it is mentally, it's emotionally, it's raising kids, it's, you know, being a light for your community, it's, you know, supporting your spouse, it's all of these different things that we don't think about because we think it equals one thing. We look at contribution in it and we look at it and we see it as one thing. And so we mark ourselves as not good enough or not worthy enough or not prepared enough because it doesn't fit someone else's measuring stick of worth. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So as you're leading people, as your business is evolving, as you're going into the end of the year, as you're hosting these meetups, think about how these different human needs affect how you're showing up in your business, how you're showing up online, how you're showing up in your family life. Are you taking downtime? I'm not a person that takes downtime. It's something I really struggle with, and I have to get better about it because my body gets worn out. I don't sleep enough. I don't rest. I'm constantly working because I have a big vision for the future. And I think most of us do. We have these big goals and these audacious dreams that we want to achieve. But you have to rest along the way. You have to take it day by day. You have to make sure that your needs are still being met or you'll burn out and you'll quit. And I had one of those kind of wall kicking moments last week where it was like I had all of these different things to do, but I sat there and I was like, what's the purpose behind why I'm doing this? Does it bring me joy? Is it serving other people? Is it getting me one step closer? Is there variety? Is there significance? Am I contributing? Am I growing? And I had to really ask myself these questions because without vision, you will perish. Your business will just die off. I have the vision, but it's like, how do you make the every single day things matter? How do you start to be so grateful for every single day and every person that you talk to and every, you know, step that you're making forward, even if it's not measuring up exactly where you thought it would? And a prime example of this, my goal with my team before the end of the year is to serve 100 people with health and wellness, with what we do, overall wellness, supporting them with nutrition. And last week, I didn't have one person rank advance, and I needed one person to rank advance so that my map would light up and I would be considered for this opportunity. Didn't happen. I worked, didn't have people, couldn't do it. And so today I started over with a new one, and I had to ask myself, you know, I didn't qualify for this, but we got 13 people on the board towards our 100. Like, that's a big deal. That's incredible. 13 people's lives were changed in the last 3 weeks. That's incredible. You have to figure out where to celebrate, what's significant, what matters. And sometimes you're not going to measure up. Sometimes there's going to be things on your list that you don't achieve. How are you going to work through those times? How are you going to continue to show up instead of kicking yourself and saying, well, if I'd only done this different, or if I'd only, you know, tried a little bit harder, maybe if I didn't nap on Friday, I could have used that time a little bit more wisely. But then I think, you know, if I hadn't taken that time to rest on Friday, I may not be here today. I may be in a funk all day today, feeling bad, sick, who knows? There's nothing as powerful as being in the presence of someone that gets this, someone that embodies these different human needs and puts it out in their life. And we have opportunities in the leadership roles that we've been given to meet these needs. You can't meet everyone's need, and you won't. But when you start to see this for yourself in different areas of your life, okay, I'm wanting to change. I'm wanting to do something else. What need am I not meeting? What need is not being met? What conversations do I need to have? What kind of queen bee roles do I need to take on? What do I need to, trash, transfer, or delegate? What do I need to give to someone else that's no longer serving me? If you find the vehicle that increases your drive, significance, and growth, no one will ever have to motivate you to do what you're doing. But you have to figure out what that is for you. And so this month I'm reading this book called Relentless by Tim S. Grover, and he's talking about the 3 different kinds of people that there are in this world. And he's talking about one of them, which is a cleaner. So they're the doers. They get in their zone, they get stuff done, and inside their zone, nothing affects them. They work, they show up, they get it done. And then when they're out of the zone, they're back into normal life. Then they handle life situations. As a woman, I'm very emotional about the things that go on in my business. It's a mother thing, I think. But I'm very attached to the results that my people have. I'm very attached to other people's goals. I feel their emotions whenever they're running for something or whenever they're in that season of transitioning. I feel that with them. And I sometimes hold myself up. I had this conversation last night with my team. I said, I can't be in the trenches and then only coaching you through the trenches. At some point, you got to figure out what motivates you, and whatever it is, you have to tap back into that whenever you feel unmotivated. What is it? What got you started? What brought you here? And whenever you feel like you've lost your way, whenever you feel like you've lost your energy and your momentum, that's what you tap back into so that you show up again and again and again, even when it's hard, even when you don't want to. And as an empath, I am very empathetic to other people's feelings and responses and emotions. I sometimes let that stop me from getting into my zone and doing my thing. So kind of a roundabout way of saying, you have to figure out what needs you need to have met first. What areas of your life, your business, are you lacking the needs being met? How do you course correct to figure out where to go from there? And then when you're working with people, understand if they're withdrawing, if they're discontent, if they are finding something that's hard, what are they missing out of those needs? Variety, significance, certainty, connection, growth, contribution. Because for me, when I stopped growing, when I stopped mentally plugging into the things that I know that make me grow, I stopped connecting with people, I stopped feeling like I'm contributing or that what I'm doing is significant, then I lose my way and I just kind of lay down and die. And I just everything falls off the place and it gets worse. So what is it for you? Is there an area in your life or in your business right now where you're kind of feeling that resistance, where you're feeling that hesitancy? And Sheridan said it on Friday, I believe. She said, the things that get us to where we want to be are often the things that we don't want to do. That's so true. The things that realign us with these human needs are often the things that we don't want to tweak. We don't want to connect anymore. We're overstimulated. We don't want to be on another Zoom call. We don't want to write another post. We don't want to run another launch because you've had an experience before that's led to where you're at now. So one of the things I want you guys to think about this week is what areas in your needs are not being met? What areas do you need growth in? What areas do people around you, are they struggling with? Can you see it? Can you point it out? Is this a tool that you could use to serve someone else that you're working with? As you host these in-person events, ask the questions of the people around you. What is it right now that you feel like you're missing in your life? Significance, growth, contribution, variety. A lot of people are missing the variety of being able to go and do things. Maybe it's the certainty. I feel like our world's really anxious right now because there's no certainty around what's about to happen. Nobody has any idea of what really is going on. And it's frustrating and it makes a lot of us anxious because we don't feel like we know what to prepare for. We don't feel like we know what's next. And I feel like that's reflected in my business this year. It's like, I don't know where to pivot. I don't know what's next. But we don't have to know what's next. We just have to get into action. We just have to start doing the things that we know put us in that zone for growth, for change, for connection, that offers variety. because the people that you're working with are different. So that's really all I had today, but I want to encourage you guys, if you're looking for a book, this one is really good. From Good to Great to Unstoppable, Relentless by Tim S. Grover. And a lot of it talks about, he works with NBA basketball coaches. Kobe Bryant was one of his top clients. Michael Jordan was one of his top clients. And he talks about, you know, the different kinds of people that he's worked with, the people that can turn on the zone and then they get distracted and they bring in the outside world into their work, so they're not effective. And then the people, the cleaners, they go into the zone, they stay in the zone while they're doing their work. And then when their work is done, they step out of the zone and they resume normal life. But they don't bring their emotions and their work to their home life, and they don't bring their home life into their work, which was something that was like, oh, okay.
So Katie, I've never heard it put with the 6 needs like that. Could you share that in the ambassador group?
Yes, I will. It's actually a Tony Robbins training. I will take a picture of it and share it though. Maybe I can find a printout that doesn't look like serial killer handwriting. Yeah.
I think that would be very helpful for a lot of us.
But do you feel like that's true in relation to, I mean, the season that you're walking through right now, or the business that you're running,
I think so. I mean, personally, I think that my biggest issue is, you know, a little over 2 years ago, I got hurt at my day job, you know, but I had started a new business, which I had hoped to be out of by the end of that year. But then I got hurt, so now I'm stuck in this job because of work comp. And until I can get done with my work comp stuff, I have to play by their rules. And it really, it's not doing anything good for me at all. And it really is hard, you know, but I'm realizing that if I can get those sales and do it my way, I don't have to play by their rules because I don't need their support anymore. So I'm just trying to find out what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do at this point.
Yeah. So you're still compliant.
Yes. But I think that, you know, for a lot of us, you know, we do start our business because of the lack of significance. I mean, for me, it was more, I wanted to make a difference in the world. You know, I just wanted to help the small businesses around me is really why I started doing it, because, you know, it's 2017 during the recession and everything else. So.
And do you feel like that's met your need for significance?
I feel like it has. I feel like if I can do it more directly and streamline it a little better, it will meet it better, because I feel like I'm having a small impact on them right now, but as I get more sales and, you know, improve, I'll be able to affect more people in a larger way, which is really my goal. And I think that'll make me feel much better.
So one of the things about significance, and I don't know, maybe this is just because my business has always been online, is feeling like significance comes from other people's validation of what you're doing. I don't know if any of you have felt that, but your significance can't come from that outside source. Your significance has to come from something bigger than that, because I heard this a couple of years ago, and it was, if you live by their applause, you'll die by their criticism. Significance cannot come from other people. You can't be validated in what you do based on whether or not someone else understands it or agrees with it or likes it or thinks it's a good idea, because the purpose and the calling that you have on your life, no one else will understand. And the way that you're called to carry it out, no one else will understand. The promptings that you have to step into different places, no one else will understand that. It's not for other people to understand. Your job is to take that gift and to put it out into the world, and it becomes significant when it changes someone else's life, when it impacts them. It doesn't matter if it's a huge change or if it's a minor, like, she just gave me permission to go do this thing, or she signs on with you and she's now, you know, helping you make $500,000 a year. Like, significance is not about the validation. It's about alignment with the calling, the mission, the vision, the values that you have. That creates significance in you, which pours into your business and to other areas of your life. And I kind of feel like contribution is a huge thing. We contribute to our families, we contribute to our communities, we contribute to so many other people. And when we feel like we're not contributing in a way that aligns with that same calling, we feel out of alignment. We feel like we're missing something. We feel like we're not validated in our work. We feel like maybe we're wasting our time, or maybe this isn't the right thing for me, or, you know, any of those different thoughts. And we start to spiral thinking that this will never work and it's not good enough and we're not good enough and I'm not the woman for the job. And I posted about this yesterday. I was being very vulnerable by sharing this because I don't like to let people know that I struggle with that. But that is something I'm constantly asking myself. Is this, and the reason I ask is because for so long I've been looking for other people to validate what I'm doing, to tell me that I'm good enough, to tell me that my words are good enough, to tell me that I'm meeting a need, when I have to put it out there and just trust that if it's what I'm called to share and to do, that it's significant. Otherwise, I wouldn't be called to do it. I mean, yeah,
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think that one thing too for me that made it hard for my business is I had a business coach who kept saying you need to look the part. You know, you got to look the part. You know, you got all these things, but you don't look the part. And after working with them and going through, I realized, you know, I don't have to look a certain way because for my target audience, I'm not reaching out to these people that are already making tons of money, and I'm not reaching out to these people who are sitting in offices and looking a certain way. I'm looking for these small business owners, and let's be honest, and as small business owners, most of us look like ragamuffins a lot of days, I feel like, because we're, you know, sitting in our office, or we're making products, or we're, you know, doing the things. And if we're not, you know, we're at home working with our kids while we're doing our office. And I feel like sometimes we're not always the most physically put together, but that doesn't make us any less better at what we do.
I agree. I talk about having ratchet Mondays where I look hot mess most Mondays. Just because sometimes you need to focus less on what you look like and more on getting stuff done. And I feel like because of social media, a huge focus is on what you look like while you're doing things. And it's like, if I would focus less on what I look like and more on just focusing on the task at hand, like I talked about setting timers last week. If you can set a timer and for 15 minutes, you can just go crazy and get things done, you'll achieve so much more because you're not worried about all of the hour things. You're worried about beating the clock. How much can I get done in 15 minutes? How much laundry can I get put away? How many, you know, how many things can I pick up and put away? How many messages can I send? How many follow-ups can I send? How many client check-ins can I send? How can I write a full email in 15 minutes? Like, whatever is on your to-do list, it's less about what you look like while you're doing it and more about what you're doing. And I heard this, Rachel Hollis said this last week. She said, she talks about the fact that she writes her own content, but she only spends the first 5 minutes after she posts engaging with people. And then she gets off of social media. She said, I'm so busy creating, spending time consuming, because if I spent time consuming, I would hear that I'm a terrible mother and I'm a terrible person and I have, you know, my teeth are crooked. And she's like, I don't have time for that. She's like, so spend less time consuming and more time creating, more time connecting, more time doing those different things. And I think that is a true, I mean, true application. If we consumed less, we would be less worried about how we look while we're doing something and more consumed with what we're doing. Does it, you know, am I getting those income producing activities done? Doesn't matter what it look like. You know, social media is only a small fraction of actually being profitable.
Along those same lines, I've had a thing written on my board for over a year that says create before consuming, because I think that if we're consuming and then creating, I think oftentimes we start not putting our own opinions and our own thoughts and our own impressions, but we start looking like somebody else instead of ourselves.
Yeah. I tell my team that all the time. I'm like, I don't want you to look like me. I don't want you to say and do the things that I do if it's not who you are. because that's not authentic. And anyone who knows you will know that immediately. You don't need to be someone else to be successful. You need to be really good at being who you are
Right.
and inviting other people to join you.
Yeah, completely.
Yes. All right, ladies. Well, that's all I have for today. I know it's nothing super crazy, but I'll also see if I can find that training. I have the, it's the Tony Robbins Breakthrough app. No, you can't have my necklace. It's the Tony Robbins Breakthrough app. It's a big, it's like a blue TR at the bottom. And it's his
Okay.
personal power breakthrough. I gave this to my team and they were like, I have a really hard time listening to him. He is kind of hard to listen to because he gets really excited and his voice gets really high and then he like slows down and his voice gets really low. But I'll see if I can find this training on like YouTube or something and share it with you guys. But it was really good. Thank y'all for your time today. And if there's something that you need that I can help with, pop it in the chat below. Not in the chat, in the ambassador message thread. And then I'm going to do a better job at checking in on the Facebook group. If there's anything that you guys need to post in there or need posted in there, I don't know if the content ideas were helping any, but I have more, I don't know. My goal is to help you guys grow your business.
They helped me.
It does? Okay.
Yeah, they helped me. I used a few of them.
Okay.
I didn't use all of them, but I used some.
Good deal. Well, I will share. I have some more of those I can share. And then we should be getting some help with kind of strategizing growth as far as the ambassadors go. Again, really my goal was to get in to help us get connected and kind of figure out what we're doing and then have some help with growth because, you know, this is exponential growth. I think we just need kind of a system and consistent check-ins and follow-ups and stuff like that.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, if you guys don't have anything